guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm back with another Christmas in July video, and I am sharing 10 brand new tier tray DIYs, mini DIYs that I'm creating for my tier tray decorating. So for this very first one, I am using this galvanized sign that I have picked up at Dollar Tree just recently, and I'm going to remove this rope because I will not be needing it for this DIY. I will use it for another one. And to make things go a little bit faster, I am spray painting this with a black spray paint in a matte finish, so it's not too shiny. Chalk paint would work as well. And then I use my chalkboard marker from Dollar Tree, and I just trace out an outline for this sign because I think it just adds so much more character to it. And then I'm gonna proceed with a writing that I want on here. So I also want to mention that this video is part of a challenge that I am hosting with my very good friend Sandra from the Schwoen's Nest. If you are not familiar with Sandra, I will have her link to her channel in my description box so you can check her out. As well, on the description box is going to be a playlist for you to head on over and check out. So I am super excited with the way this turned out. I think it looks absolutely stunning. For my next DIY, I'm using one of these little tin white buckets that came from Dollar Tree. They have them in a pack of 3 or 4, and I'm just want to remove this top, the little handle, because I will not be using it. I'm going to be creating more of a drinking cup from this, so I did not need the little handle on top. And I'm just using my wire cutters to remove this off. I feel like I use my wire cutters for everything. I should really get the proper tools for it all. And then I use my brown acrylic paint just to add some decor to the bottom of it. I wanted to create almost like chocolate dripping. So if you do not know what I'm creating a hot chocolate mug. And that I wanted to look like the hot chocolate was overflowing and dripping down this cup. I think this is going to look cute on a tier tray, especially over in my hot cocoa station that I will be that I always have every year. So I don't forget to also touch up the rim of the little pot. And then the fun part, I fill it up with some mini marshmallows. The nice thing about this is you can just fill it up when you're decorating it, and you can just toss them or eat them once you are done with it. These do hold up pretty well in this cup for the season. I had a different one over in my kitchen tier tray for a couple years now, and I actually hot glued the marshmallows to it, and they seem to just do fine. For my next one, I am using this galvanized believe sign. I've had this in my craft stash from the year before, and I'm spray painting it with a chalk spray paint from Rust-Oleum. You could also just paint it if you want. I just think this is a little bit faster. And then I'm going to take my red water-based marker and just draw a line, almost creating that candy cane look. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, I would love it if you consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. I am almost finished up with all of my Christmas in July crafts, and I can't wait for Christmas to come. So for my next one, I am going to be making a sign, and I am using some of these napkins that I had left over from last year. I will leave the video at the end for you to check out how I use these napkins. I did create quite a bit of DIYs with them, and one pack I still have probably more than half left. And I just used the square, wood square that I got from Dollarama and just glue it on using Mod Podge. This is such a simple way to add Christmas spirit to your tier tray.
Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but also when it's cold and drear. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do.
Another very simple DIY, I am using this flower pot that I got at our dollar store with more, and a little bottle brush tree that I had left over from last year. You can find them at Dollar Tree and Dollarama. And I'm going to paint my little flower pot with some white chalk paint, and I'm not going over it with a thick amount. Just enough to cover it. I don't mind if some of that wood shows through.
You bring me, oh Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. For every year this Christmas tree brings to us such joy and glee. Oh Christmas tree, such pleasure do.
Once the pot had time to dry, I just take that piece of rope that I removed from the very first sign and just hot glue it across it just to give it a little bit of decor. Now at this point, I thought this is how I wanted it to look, but I was finding it was a little bit too plain looking, so I ended up embellishing it with some of the little greenery stuff that I had, just odds and ends that I had in my stash.
You bring me. Oh Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging, a symbol of good.
Now that this is done, I am ready to add my tree. I just chop off the bottom just so it sits nicely in there, not too tall, and I just shove it in there and it was sitting really, really nicely in there.
Will and love, you'll ever be unchanging, each shining light, each silver bell, no one alive.
For this next DIY, I'm using a piece of wood that I had in my stash. You can also use the same square wood square that I was using for the red truck sign if you do not have another piece like this. And I'm going to paint it with my Christmas red acrylic paint. And I want this to be a solid coverage.
Cheers so well, oh Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging, oh Christmas tree, oh.
Once this was fully dried, I take that chalkboard marker and I am just going to write let it snow on it. I think the contrast red to white is absolutely stunning and perfect for Christmas time. I could use my vinyl to write this out, to cut this out and just add it, but I wanted to show you different ways you can do DIYs without using your Cricut, in case if you don't have it. Cricut definitely makes life a lot easier, but not everybody has one, so I like to give you options throughout. I share lots of DIYs with Cricut, but I also want to show couple without. And then I had these snowflakes in my stash, and I'm just adding them. These do have a touch of sparkle, which I am not an overly sparkly person, but I love the way it looks on this side.
Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging.
For the next sign, I picked this wood sign. This is quite a thick sign, and I can't remember which dollar store I picked it up. I thinking it came from dollar store with more, but it could have come from Dollar Tree as well. I am just not sure. And I give it a dry brushing of the white chalk paint, and then once that was done and had some time to dry, I use my red water-based marker and just do some writing on here as well. I love adding little signs like this to my tiered tray, and I happen to have like 4 different tiered trays, so I need 10 of decor. Let me know down in the description box if you guys like decorating your tiered trays. It is definitely one of my favorite ways to add seasonal decor to my home, and I have one, like I said, I have several of them, and I always change them up seasonally. If you want to see how I decorate all those, make sure you head on over to my home channel to check that out.
Under the tree, tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is.
Now these have been a great hit. Everybody's buying these up. There are ones that are with circle beads, but I was not the fortunate one to actually get one with circled beads, round beads, so I used the square ones, and these worked just as well in creating a tassel for my tiered tray. I did find some back during lockdown, and the way they had them placed, I thought I was able to buy them, but then the lady didn't let me buy them. I was quite upset about it, but I did get over it pretty quick. And then once they opened up, they no longer had the wood round ones, just the square ones. But to be honest with you, I haven't gone back since it opened up, and we've been opened up for probably over a month or so. So I just, but I had like 2 or 3 sets of these in my stash, so I thought I used them up. I do love the way they turned out. I mean, you can paint these to any color you want. This would look great in a candy cane pattern. I am using red, green, and then just leaving 2 of them the natural color. I absolutely love the way this turned out with this pattern, but like I said, you can paint these any way you want to suit your Christmas style. I happen to have them almost for every season, and I think it's just such a nice way to again add some decor to your tiered tray. Now for the end, I am making a little tassel by wrapping the rope 20 times around my hand. I have a fairly large hand, so 20 times was plenty for me. And then I just tie another piece and I tie it to the beads, and then I tie another piece just to create almost like a head for the tassel. And I think this looks fabulous.
The first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you.
For this one, I am using giant tongue depressors or popsicle sticks. This one didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to. I just couldn't get my green to be the color that I envisioned it. I ended up using a Christmas green, which I did find was a little too bright. And then I went over it with some hunter green to darken it up, but it still didn't quite reach the dark color that I was hoping for. I do end up adding a little bit of a white chalk paint to it just to see if it'll give me more of a look that I was going for, and it did. It just wasn't the green that I was looking for. And then I just hot glued them crisscross together, and I added some rope and some embellishments to them. And if you are still not sure what I'm making, I was going for the skis. That is what I was making. I think this will look good in kind of poking out of a jar or something, and to make them look even a little bit more like skis, I just ended up cutting a point on the top part of them just to make them look more like skis. What do you think? Do they look like skis? Let me know down in the comments.
I longed for this moment to have you.
And for this one, I went for a different colored look. I got this snowflake. It fell off of one of my signs from dollar store, so I kept it, and I kept the signs because I'm planning on reusing that for something else. But I like the fact that the snowflake was black, and I think it's gonna go well with my very first sign that I made. I ended up painting the square from Dollarama, spray painting it with some white chalk paint. I'm simply just doing this because it's faster. You could also just paint it with a brush. And once this was fully dried, I just hot glue the little snowflake to the top of it, and that's it. This was such a simple DIY, and I think it's, like I said, it's gonna look great with my first sign that I made over on my tier tray that I'm gonna be using over on my hot cocoa station.
For myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed these easy budget-friendly DIYs. If you did, make sure you press the thumbs up, leave me a comment, share it with a friend, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you part of my YouTube family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate your continuing support so much. If you're stopping by from one of the other channels in the playlist, welcome. I'm so glad you decided to press that watch button and stuck around till the end. Don't forget to check out the playlist. Don't forget to check out Sandra's channel, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.
Everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow